Red, you're still here?
Yes, I very much am.
Coolio. First off, welcome everyone. Been a hot second since the last time we had one of these. For those that haven't attended any of these before, there is a chat for the stage. You should see a bubble icon in the upper right part of the screen if you're on desktop, and I think just on the top of the screen on mobile. You're free to ask questions while we're going through here, but we'll probably not address most of them until the very end of the presentation. We have taken note of some questions from the channel where some of you have been asking questions for the past week or so. We'll be going through those as it falls naturally throughout the presentation. Okay then, let's get the show on the road. I won't be seeing the chat, so Red, if you can keep a lookout in case there's anything I need to respond to.
Sure.
Yes. Let's get started then. The first thing that we're asked about was who's on the team. So let's do a quick run through. Not everyone were able to make it to this stage, so me and Red will be introducing a few people that weren't able to. Starting then with myself. I'm pretty much doing business management here, also co-writing and supervision of the story, also heavily involved with the character designs.
Following up, there's me. I'm here as a lead game developer, story co-writer, technical director, graphics programmer, 3D modeler. I pretty much do most of the stuff that is related to whatever you see on the game. I'm also mainly doing writing on the story and also working on clothing. That's why most of the clothing sneak peeks are posted by me. I'm the one that's making them. Other than that, I work on the technical side. I am the one directing everything that goes into preparing systems and stuff for the game. So pretty much I'm a bit of everywhere and kind of a one-man army.
Hello, you can call me 21 for short. I'm responsible for UI and UX, gameplay programming, system development, mod engine integrations and implementations. Also tooling for modders such as the mod creator, thumbnail creator, and their documentation. Feel free to point out any issues or questions you have with them, as your feedback is what makes those tools better and easier to use for everyone else.
My role is I'm kind of a generalist dev. I mostly work on graphics these days. So I worked with REDCODE on shaders. For example, I've worked on the eye customization and some complex stuff like plotting, fitting, clipping fix. That was mostly done by me and by Red. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hi, I'm NP, short for Npitsu. I am a 3D generalist, or I should say I'm one part of the art department itself, where I do 2D, 3D modeling, designing, animation, all kinds of stuff. We'll be talking later about what I've been doing for the past 2 years, but yeah.
Next up, we have Magic. Unfortunately, he could not make it. He is the other part of the art department as of now. He works mainly on 3D art, logos and promotional material, UI design, tractor and clothing design. For example, what you're seeing here as a background on the presentation has been made by him. The logo, the Steam art, and a lot of other internal designs that we use, including also, if you guys were there or remember about it, when I was modeling that maid dress on live on ear a while ago, that sketch has been made by him as well.
Kantar also couldn't make it. Care to take him as well, Red?
Okay, sure. Kantar is the last of the developers here. His job is mainly systems development, gameplay programming, and engine integration and modifications. He has been a key part of the whatever has been the long route to creating the asset pipeline and mod engine. A lot of the current gameplay, which is in development, has been part to it. Animations and various other systems is pretty much working on a lot of future stuff that you guys will see very soon.
And finally, we have Screw This Noise. He also doesn't attend with voice, but basically he's doing repacks of the game and also does some consulting and distribution and general like day-to-day operation stuff. And that's that. Moving on here now then. Made some adjustments to the roadmap here, so we'll go through those quickly. And there were some questions related to that as well in the pre-questions. First and foremost, let's take a look at where we are currently. We have done a fair part of the first character creator update, the milestone for that, with some more clothing sets and accessories, clothing fitting improvements, breast and hair physics, skirt physics, procedural eyes, and user pickable eyes. There's still some stuff left to do here, but I think we're making rather good strides at delivering this update in full. Going from here, though, made a bit of an adjustment. After the character creator update, we were supposed to move on to the studio update 1, but we've shuffled that around a little bit and will instead refocus on the free age update to get some gameplay going. Get back to more details on that later during the presentation, with just a minor adjustment to the order of things.
Next up, we have a bunch of questions that we gathered. One of them was, which lesson I've been learning? So one of them is math is law. Stuff goes wrong all the time. Unfortunately, very much often, as you could have seen during this beginning of the presentation, but yeah, even more so during programming and development in general. So yeah, we have learned that deadlines need to be extended and that we should be always ready to have some stuff that breaks down during whatever, at all times. That's literally lesson number 1.
Yeah, there's a number of times we've stood there on a planned update date and had a bit of things to sort out.
Yeah. So, moving on. Yeah, making a modding system is complicated. Really. It has been taking a long time for us to prepare all the systems that goes on to packaging a mod and loading it at runtime. And basically, yeah, most of our work during the last years, even before this project has been announced, has mostly been literally preparing all the backbone for having modding working, which is why things seem to be moving at a very slow pace. Yeah, working with mods and making modding system as the centerpiece of whatever we are working with has been a huge ordeal, really.
There was also some questions about mod manager plans. On that front, we are working on Steam Workshop integration, so that will arrive eventually. It comes when it's ready, pretty much. There's also plans regarding off-platform repositories, but that will have to be looked into at a later stage. It's too early to start implementing that quite at this point in time. And voiceovers. Also some questions regarding that. Of course, we are planning on voiceovers. The exact extent is kind of dependent on the financial situation, of course. But we are planning for some kind of voiceovers at some point throughout development, probably at the later stages of development. Meanwhile, we will utilize generic sounds and like BGMs and stuff like that. Those will be implemented as we need them throughout development, but actual voiceovers is a thing that we need to think about towards the end of development. So don't expect that quite yet. Show us yours, Red.
Yeah, and it's time to talk a bit about the main game. Yeah, there have been a lot of questions and people talking around about what is the main game, what's going to be in the main game. Unfortunately, we cannot reveal much yet, but do stay assured. We have plans for the main game. We already have been working on it behind the scenes. We just don't feel like it's the correct time to announce it yet. The setting is already decided, and some of the main characters are as well already set in piece. One of them, one of the faction leaders, you can see the key art here on the left. That she will be in the game, and we will reveal more details about her soon-ish. So, moving on. So, people were asking about male body mesh. We have a bunch of other stuff working on right now. We don't have many people in the team, and especially the 3D modeling side is pretty much stuffed right now. So unfortunately, we will have to use a placeholder-based male body mesh for the free update, and the full male character customization is still planned for Character Creator Update 2, as we originally intended. Unfortunately, we could not shift this earlier because there's been some stuff in the works that has taken all of the people that will be involved with a male body mesh and kept us busy.
Yes, the limitations placed on us by the size of the team, available resources, of course, means that we need to prioritize what comes out when. And this is just something that we've decided that can probably wait until Character Creator 2.
All right, so currently custom moddable body meshes are not yet implemented, as they are connected to most character systems, so we need to make sure that things will work fine with different configurations. As we are working on a new base mesh, this will become an option alongside selecting them in-game.
Speaking of which, it's time to talk about what MP has been working on for a long time at this point. So, MP, take it away.
Okay. For starters, for the past 1 or 2 years, we have been working on the game, and we have gone through a bit of change for our body meshes. Of course, this, as you see in front of you, is way more expanded. Reason? Throughout the testing that we have seen that we do have a armature or a body mesh that behaves very well with the engine. It does not behave well with the ambition or the results that we want. So what did we do? We reworked the entire thing. Spent the entire, you can say, last 6 months researching all the techniques that we can find, doing all the testing that we want to do, and this is still not the final thing that I want it to be, but it is very close to what we have. That will work very well in tandem with a new feature that is gonna be worked upon later. As you can see here, we have reworked a lot of parts of the body. They have a lot of bones which interact with a lot more focused sectors of the mesh itself. If we go forward, first of all, we changed the proportion, right? As you can see, it is much more smoother as well as balanced compared to the previous mesh. So arms have increased in length, or you can say the shoulders are adjusted much better for a relaxed pose, which helps you attain better deformation. Don't worry about the sizes. You will have a lot of sizes. Moving on to the next one. Now, this is the thing for which we've been working towards. The deformation in the skin, or you can say the fat deposition in the body, is very important. It can go from very skinny to very specific folds in the body, that a lot of people can appreciate. For that, we have bones that focus on very specific areas. There will be more. They will be doing a lot more things that we'll be sharing in future. I think Red can share them way better as he'll be helping me out working with those.
Yes, the reason why there are so many bones, and you will see there are 2 different colors in Blender. We have an entire new system that we will need to implement also in Unity that will use main bone movements and use all the secondary bones for extra deformations, extra adjustments, squishing, all the bells and whistles that you would expect by a modern standard of a game in 2024, basically. This will be also available for modders. The main feature here is going to be also what is generally known as adjustment bones and correction bones. These ones will allow a lot of more precise deformations when bones move. In a way, you will be basically programming bones to move in relation to other bones. And these will allow potentially to have actual muscle deformation when, for example, the arm is folding. You can have automatically have the part of the arm to inflate like it does in real life. We are not going to make it too much complicated for modders to work with it. But of course, this is going to be a bit more complex than what is currently in game. The good thing is we are planning to have this available for modders as well. So, and as base mesh 2.0 comes in with the ability to have modded base meshes, you guys as a modders, you will be able to use the same tooling that we work with. Next slide, I guess. Yeah, as you can see, we did some magic. We are going to implement multi-shape blend frames, which one of them you can see here at work. You can see the deformation is much more gradual and much more different than what you could usually do with blend shapes. Aside from rest sizes, where this is going to be like a very much a game changer, these will also allow us to potentially have like muscle shader, body fat slider. We can have a mix and match of both. We can have a rebalance of the body. There is a lot of that we can do with this technology here. I only have one bad news for you guys, at least on the modding side. Unfortunately, Blender does not support the frame blend shapes. We are lucky enough we have a MP here that knows how to work with Maya. Unfortunately, this is a Blender limitation. It's not a Unity limitation. Unity supports this. We are going to take advantage of it. But if you guys want to use stuff like this, unfortunately, you will have to look into not using Blender and using something else, at least for the blend shapes side. It would be cool if Blender supported this. Unfortunately, they don't, as of right now. If they actually manage to implement it, it will be really, really cool. But yeah, unfortunately, because this involves us moving from Blender, which is basically what we use most of the time, to Maya as a final step for importing this in the game, this kind of stuff will come at later stage. Like, probably is not going to be there as first release, at least not for all of them. But yeah, we are trying our best, basically, here. MP, you want to add something else?
Yeah, no. It's difficult when you don't have features like these to work in Blender, where most of our pipeline goes. So this will definitely change the output a lot, like for the better. But yeah, let's hope modders can also get to work with this in the future.
Yeah, let's continue then. Next up, we had some questions about the update schedule. We usually aim to strike out with updates about towards the middle of the month, like between the 15th, 17th, somewhere thereabouts. It's not every month where we've hit that milestone, that target. And that can be because we're working on a key feature and we need more time, either because we need more time, or because Murphy decided to pay us a visit at some point, usually right before.
Happens way too often.
Yeah, and that usually happens like on the evening where we're supposed to release an update or something, because that's kind of when he likes dropping by. But yeah, in cases where we need more time or Murphy pays us an unexpected visit, we just postpone the release. Either postpone the release outright and return to it later, maybe a few days later, or maybe towards the end of the month, or maybe it's so key that we're just going to postpone it to next month. We haven't needed to do the latter at this point, but just keep that in mind. If something needs more time to get ready for prime time, we'll give it the time it needs. The other alternative that we usually do now is to release any bug fixes we're working on that's ready for prime time. So that leads to smaller updates like the one we had this month toward the middle of the month. And yeah, I'm gonna take a really quick sneak peek at the next mode we're working on. And before we start, though, just want to remind everyone that this is very much a work in progress. It's not gotten anywhere close to the polishing stage. And the video is captured in the Unity editor, as this isn't built for normal build quite yet. So do keep that in mind. This is the pre-age mode, the character selection screen and map selection. Complete with loading. As you can see, it's still in a development area, just testing out animations and functionality. Like light control, movement, NPC manipulation, stuff like that. Not a whole lot to say about it. Yeah, you can see we have implemented a menu system there, where dressing and undressing can take place. Of course, the cloud physics that is already implemented in the character creator and studio are present and accounted for.
Yeah, it's much more visible here because there is actual movement around.
Yeah. Okay then. That pretty much concludes the presentation. But before I let everyone run off a bit from, the admin, I guess, as you see, this is quite a lot of work. It takes quite a long time to get developed. It takes a lot of time, resources, and persistence to hang through. In order to do that, we are going to need support from the community. Simple as that. Be that spreading the word, just giving general feedback, supporting the Patreon, buying the game, you name it. Anything helps. We do imagine that we're gonna need a bit more time to get it fully released, but as you can see, we are hard at work to get the things that we flagged as important to those of you actually using the game. and get that into place and in order. So yeah, spread the word. Please do support us. All of that good stuff. And also, we are reluctant to take on volunteers for most roles relating to this game, but if there is anyone that want to volunteer for assistance, especially with marketing, which is probably our main deficiency at this point and difficulty taking the nature of the game, I'm very interested in getting into contact with, well, anyone with pre-existing knowledge on that topic. So yeah, I guess that kind of works as a sign-off.